All right, my friends. So I promise to be with you in good times and in bad. So I woke up exceedingly sad again. And I and I realized what it was. What it was me, once again groping outside of myself for, I guess, love ultimately. And so, and and what I wanted to talk about, I had done a video like a week ago, and I haven't posted it, and I probably won't. But there was a lot in that video that I really liked. It was filled with a lot of inspiration. I had driven to Phoenix for a training, and I just had all these thoughts about, and I really want to get off the topic, but it's just so pertinent to me, to my happiness, I guess, or I guess my seeming, like, I don't know. But anyway, I was thinking about, it not just being anyone, this person, whoever this person is not just being anyone. I mean, it just can't be just anyone, because, a lot of people find me, boring, saintly, have their, I just wouldn't be for anyone. I wouldn't be for anyone. And then I had commented on how, I actually really, really, really like politics. I don't like the dirtiness of it, but I really care. I care about what is happening. I care in my own community. They're trying to build this development on, like, land that is they're called the Dells. It's really special land, and a developer has bought the property and wants to build houses, and there's this movement here to try to stop and save the Dells. And I'm just sort of laughing about it, because the people who build their house there are not going to be happy, because it's right by this lake and there are a ton of mosquitoes. I've had friends that have moved out of that area because of the mosquitoes. I mean, it is mosquito infested. So I'm like cracking up about these, like, really wealthy people who, like, build these houses in this area and then end up, why did I do this? Because of literally the mosquitoes. I mean, there are people who actually move to other sides of the United States because of mosquitoes, right? Possibly. Anyway, but I wanted to go back to and then I wanted to tell you guys that for some God known reason, I wanted to take up vaping. I can't figure. I'm 51. All of a sudden, I want to start like smoking. It's the weirdest thing, and I had figured out that it has to do with my dad. It has to do with my dad. And my dad smoked a pipe, and I love the smell of tobacco. I absolutely love the smell of tobacco, and it has to do with him. And he used to blow these smoke rings. And I actually think it wasn't necessarily like the act of smoking for my dad. It was probably more so just the way that the smoke goes in front of your face and forms these patterns, and he was able to control it and make these shapes. Anyway. And then also in this video, I was wanting to talk about this, like, speed thing, like, my fascination with things that go fast, and remembering different times in my life when I was on the back of a motorcycle and was so exceedingly happy, so happy. So I've been actually thinking about getting a motorcycle myself and being a friend of the motorcycle. I'm actually driving it myself. Anyway, but I wanted to get back to, I had, when I went to visit my friend, my very special friend in Phoenix, the one who was concerned about me, like, in the sense that my mind is racing, that friend, we had this conversation, and I had said to her, you know, that if there's a song on that I don't like, I just turn the song to something else. I just changed the song. And she really liked that. And so this morning, that's what I did. I just changed the song. And those would be my words, but like Don Miguel Ruiz would say, dream a different dream. And Abraham Hicks would say, go to a better feeling thought. But for me, I don't know, I just sort of live my life through music. And for me, it would be just turning on a different song, a song that changes my thought patterns to a more positive way. So and I think this is the way it is with manifestation. And I guess that I've been like, we all manifest. We all manifest. I think one of the things that I've been learning is that we just don't dream big enough. Like we don't dream big enough. You know, like I had put out, and literally I put out an intention, I don't know, 6-8 months ago for world peace. Is world peace too big of an intention? And so I think that that's it, that we because our beliefs, and we've been told, you know, these limitations, we believe them. I mean, I had talked about, you know, I had been told that I was not smart. I mean, and that all I had was my hair, but, but that was just not true. It was just a projection onto me of somebody's feelings about themselves. And a lot of times it is. But I have been called delusional. And I think this morning that I woke up, and because I live in that space. So when you live in the now, you know, you're not living in the past and you're not living in the future. You're like in this space, and it's not manifest yet. So you live in this space of it not being manifest. And this morning I got into these thoughts about, and I had actually done this throughout the last year, like year and a half or whatever, where I really had thought that I had manifested something. I thought that I had manifested my dream of this like really loving, wonderful partnership. And when it didn't seem to be going that way, I would really fall off into these really very, very deep despair about it. I mean, because it was my dream. It was like my ultimate dream. It was my pearl of great price. And so when the quote unquote reality of what I was actually living, I felt really stupid, and I felt like, why did I, you know, maybe this was too big of a dream. And and so this morning I had kind of fallen back into that, like, what makes me think, like, because somebody had said, you know, that the best indicator of future behavior is past behavior. But actually, that's not true in the case of manifestation. It's all wrong. It's past behavior has to be past behavior, because you can't have different results with past behavior. If you keep beating the same drum, you keep beating the same rhythm, you keep doing the same things, then you're going to have the same outcome. And so I you know, so then there was this sense of being sort of afraid in the future. But last night I had taken my evening meditation, and I was just completely engulfed and taken back by just, you know, the love and just love and God and Jesus and whoever is around me, which I think there's just an entourage around all of us, that we are being taken care of by angels and celestial beings of different sorts, and we're just spirit animals. I think we're just completely engulfed in the care and love, and I was just completely engulfed in it, and it just, I just had this feeling of it just really not mattering, like really nothing else matters, like, you know, like what if, you know, I remember Dr. Hawkins, I told you guys about how I studied his works for years, and there was one thing that he was saying, you know, well, what if, you know, well, then what? Well, then what? Well, then what? You know, and in all actuality, it's kind of true. Everything does work out. If you think about it, our lives, we have been taken care of. I think it's just we haven't dreamed big enough. We haven't been dreaming big enough. We because we're delusional. We're supposedly delusional when we think big enough. So I was thinking today that I actually, I know I've been talking about Mercedes, but Tesla's where it's at. Tesla is where it's at. And I'm really hoping that Elon Musk is going to give me a Tesla, because, you know, I am really good for advertising. So I'm going to think big, and somehow a Tesla is just going to show up on my doorstep. Doesn't have to be the high-end one, you know, just a Tesla. They're so beautiful. And you know, that Tesla, he was so smart. Oh my God. And he knew about numerology. Numbers are very important. All right. Love you guys. Bye.